For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, happy Focus time. My name's Paul Dingeman. Nice to see you. Welcome back to the show. We've got a person that's never been on the show before. We're going to introduce her for the first time. Deb Johnson. Oh, nice to see you.
So happy to be here.
Deb Johnson is Executive Director of the St. Clair County Community Mental Health, which is a huge organization which does huge things in St. Clair County, and we're thankful for that.
Well, you're welcome. We're happy to do those things.
So what's happening this month?
Well, November's a lot of things. I could start off with a funny thing that I read.
Let's start.
All right. I don't know, it's not that funny, but it's National Peanut Butter Lover Month.
Peanut Butter Lover Month.
And I love peanut butter. I eat a little bit almost every day in the morning.
There's a book, when I was back in radio, there was a book with all of the different days. Mm-hmm. It was about that thick of every day. Every
day is something.
Yeah.
And sometimes multiple things in a day.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, but we try to focus on the things that are meaningful because of the work that we do. So one thing is National Alzheimer Awareness Month.
Yeah, important topic.
It's very important. And in 2020, there was about almost 16 million American. Well, wait. Let me back it up. I was mixing up my caregiver stuff. But anyways, I want to talk about in 1983 there were fewer than 2 million Americans that had Alzheimer's, but today there's nearly 5.6 million. And if we continue to increase at that rate, by 2050 they're estimating the number could be as high as 16 million. So it is very important that we make sure that we have the resources, the knowledge out there for people. And one of the best places to find that good information is it's the Dementia Alzheimer Resource Committee of St. Clair County. There's a website and a Facebook page. And so we're posting things to that. And one of the important resources that is available through that group, which is now a 501c3 nonprofit, is a respite care grant. So if you're a family member taking care of somebody with Alzheimer or dementia, you would be eligible for usually it's like $600 a year. We try to limit it because we don't have tons of money, but that can buy a number of hours.
So it's such a devastating, debilitating problem for the caregiver.
Yes.
So they really need support.
They do, and so respite is intended to give them a break.
Yeah.
Some people are able to go. There's also 2 programs in St. Clair County, day-type programs. So there's Star Path, which is operated by the Council on Aging, and then there's a program operated through Life Skills program in Port Huron as well. It used to be at Visiting Nurses Association, and then it ended up getting transferred over to them. And so that's a really good, those are 2 good options too, but some people won't go to that or aren't able to go anymore. And so maybe they're at home with somebody, and so so the respite is really important. Through that group too, we try to bring in, and we were prior to COVID bringing in somebody from the University of Michigan, because they have got a great research department there, talking about different things related to Alzheimer's. And so we'll get that started back up again, probably in the spring. We're hoping a little sooner, but we have to see how the environment is.
And is there any indication of why the numbers are increasing?
I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sure they do at, some of it might be better diagnosis of it.
Okay.
You know, I would guess that that's part of it,
Yep.
but I don't know. But I think the reality is people are living longer, you know, so that might be contributing to it too. And that number is like people over 65. And as I get closer to that number, it's like, ooh, you worry about those things. But anyways, so it's National Alzheimer Awareness Month, and so hopefully people will check out those resources. And then kind of goes along with that, and I'm going to jump around a little bit, but it's also National Family Caregiver Month, because we know that there's about 53 million Americans providing unpaid care to people who are ill or disabled or have Alzheimer's, dementia, any of those kinds of things. And specifically people who were caring for folks with Alzheimer's, because that can be so challenging. And 35% of those people reported that their own health got worse during that time, because they stopped taking care of themselves because all their time and attention is devoted to their loved one.
Correct.
And so it's so important, you know, that they practice good self-care. And there's a lot of resources. I'm going to share some free resources at the end that we have that can help you take care of yourself.
You can't take care of the patient if you don't take care of yourself.
That's right. That's 100% true. So you have to take care of yourself first so that you can keep doing what you need to do. So that's important. And then it's No Shave November. I know we talked about that here before. And that started with the adult children of a man who died from prostate cancer. Prostate cancer impacts about as many men as breast cancer women. I think it's either 1 in 8 or 1 in 7 men will have prostate cancer, and it is 1 in 8 women will have breast cancer at some point in their lives. But both of those kinds of cancers, early detection totally saves lives. So that's the thing. You have to make sure that you get your checks and things like that. And but anyways, so they came up with this idea of No Shave November, and then the thought was that the money that you would save from not using your shaving products, you would donate it to either cancer research or support groups or things like that. So I know a lot of people like to do that. My husband is one of them. I say, oh gosh, it's November. The big beard starts. But also, I noticed that Matt King, our sheriff, posted that the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department, a lot of guys are participating in
really?
it. I think that's kind of fun for them because I'm pretty sure facial hair is against the dress code normally. So they can do it this month. They pay to participate, and then they donate that money.
Oh, wonderful.
So I think that's great.
Win-win.
Totally. It's also National Gratitude Month, and that kind of goes right along.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that one before.
I feel like I've talked about that, but maybe not on this show.
I don't remember.
It's because it fits well because it's also the month with Thanksgiving in it, which is intended for us to give thanks for what we have. So there's been a lot of studies on if you practice gratitude on a regular basis, including maybe have a gratitude journal and write what you're grateful for every day.
Oh, wow.
If you do those things, it is shown that it reduces your stress, your anxiety, you're a happier person, your overall health and well-being is improved because it forces you to focus on what's good in your life and not just what's not good in your life. And we all have different things from time to time.
Well, we're barraged with bad news all the time. Every time we turn the radio on or watch the television, everything's coming to an end and the world's terrible. You're going to have this shot or that shot or you're not going to have it. So you need some kind of gratitude. You need some support.
So even with everything that's gone on, and we know obviously it's been more than a year and a half now with COVID, has been, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. There were times we couldn't go to the restaurants, we couldn't go out, there were so many things we couldn't do. But there were good things within all that too, at least from my perspective. I mean, it forced me to kind of slow down my life a little bit, and that was good for me. There were good things doring that time. So you got to think about that, especially if you have your health. I was talking to somebody not that long ago who has a pretty serious illness right now. And we talked about it for a while, and it's like if you have your health, you really have everything. You can have all the money in the world, but if you have bad health, what good is it?
That's correct.
So you really need to kind of focus on those things. And the other thing is thanking other people. You feel good when you thank other people for things. And I think sometimes we take things for granted and people for granted, whether it's our friends who've helped us out, our family members who are really good to us and things like that. So I think it's important to do those things. And you can also show your appreciation by giving back to your community. I think that's really important too. And I volunteer a lot, and I feel good about it. I like to do it, and I feel like I've been kind of lucky in my life in terms of my job, my family, my health now. I didn't feel lucky 5 years ago, but even in spite of all that, there were still good things going on around me, and so it's like if I can give back, I want to do it and help other people, and and that does make you feel good. So.
And the world needs volunteers.
Oh, definitely needs volunteers. So there's a lot of great places. In our community, if you don't have money, that's okay. You don't have to give your money out. You give your time out. Habitat for Humanity, I've done that a few times. That's a fun place to volunteer, I think, because I learned some building skills. And we have our soup kitchen, churches, schools. There's just a ton of places.
Council on Aging. There are all sorts of places. All right.
So another thing in November, of course, is Veterans Day.
Okay.
And I just want to talk a little bit about the Veterans Walking Group. There's a Veterans Walking Group. It's every Wednesday at 10 in the morning, beginning November 3rd, which was passed. But anyways, every Thursday forward, they were meeting in the park, but starting in November 3rd, Birchwood Mall, and they walk the mall. But it's a nice time. It's just casual, social group. It's for military members, camaraderie, networking, those kinds of things. And our Wendy Martindale, who's our Veterans Navigator, she is at every one of those. And if anybody needs assistance with anything, they could let her know during that time. We do have a great Veterans Navigator program. And we do a lot of things and it doesn't matter, any veteran is eligible regardless of combat status, discharge status, if you're active duty or not. Any veteran is eligible for veteran services with us. And I think we're currently serving about 180 vets.
Wow.
Excuse me. I know that because we're going to send out every year we send a thank you for their service. And then, and if there's anything else they need from us, keep us informed, and we give them a little gift card. Just as a way of saying thanks, because we do need to thank our veterans because they gave a lot for us, and we live in this great country because of them.
St. Clair County has a Veterans Department, but this is above and beyond what the St. Clair County Veterans Department does.
Or in addition to, because Wendy works closely with the Veterans Department in St. Clair County, especially if somebody needs assistance with entitlements or different things, benefits through the VA, she might help them navigate that system more with our local Veterans Administration. I mean, they're great too.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes people just need some extra help with all that. So
but
she
this
can do
is
that.
on Wednesdays is it only in November, or are you going to?
No, it's going to continue on indefinitely.
Wednesdays at 10 a.m. at Birchwood Mall. Beginning November the 3rd. So
yeah,
it started last week, and now it's going to be going forever. So all current and former service members, Veterans Walking Group. That's good, a great idea.
Yeah, and just good time to connect, maybe grab coffee, whatever they want to do. And then we have our 6th and final, for this year anyways, Man-to-Man series. It will be November 18th, 6:30 to 8:30. Tyrone Burrell, the director's sons, will be the featured speaker. So I'm sure it will be very good and enlightening and informational and inspirational and all that good stuff. So if people want to go, that's at the Municipal Center building in Port Huron. We always like people to RSVP, but if you don't show up, you can just show up. Up to 50 people can be there.
Okay, all right.
So that's going on. So I talked before about self-care. So we started some new cool things. Let's stay on the veterans path for a minute. Yoga for Warriors. It's Thursdays from 6 to 7, and this one is at the Community Mental Health Building, and we provide yoga mats and all that stuff, and it's open to all veterans and their families. So they don't have to come alone, and it's a good. I mean, you see those guys there? They're practicing good yoga right there.
Yeah.
So that is a yoga program going on, and then we also have another. Yoga Nidra, which is for anybody, and this benefits the mind and the bodies. It's Mondays and Wednesdays, and this is November through December, and it's via a Zoom link, so you can be at home. Because this one actually, you should be like laying down in a comfortable, safe spot, and then you do it. So this is not heavy exertion or anything like that, or weird twists like some people are like, I can't do those yoga poses. You could do this, and it is. It's supposed to help with.
Yeah, I should be able to lay down. You
can do it, Paul. I think you and Mary Ellen should do this. And there's evidence that this yoga style helps people with healing physical and emotional pain, trauma, stress reduction, improves sleep, increases your overall sense of well-being. So the information there is to contact Community Mental Health.
Mondays and Wednesdays, November through December, via Zoom, 8 to 8:30 at night. That's great.
You have to contact us, so if you want the Zoom link, you can go on our Facebook or our website. And if you have any trouble with that, you can call Community Mental Health, say you need the link for that, and we'll send it to people.
Okay.
And then we also, I think I've talked before, we have a partnership with MSU Extension. So we have 3 new classes starting in November, different dates in November. All this information is on our website. One is Relax, which is alternatives to anger. One is Stress Less with Mindfulness. And then Stress Less with Mindfulness, holiday stress buster tips.
Oh, that's an important one too.
Yeah, so
We'll have all these up on our bulletin board in both Marine City and St. Clair in a day or two. But alternatives to anger, stress less with mindfulness. That's a tough one.
It is it's a mouthful.
Stress less with mindfulness, holiday stress buster. Yeah, those are good. Okay, these are important.
They're very important, and the best thing about all of those things, they're all free.
Free. That's a big word. F-R-E-E. Free.
Free. No charge.
Wow.
So we just want to try to, help people out, help people take care of themselves, and and we've talked about this before. It has been a challenging year and a half plus now with COVID, and it has increased people's stress and anxiety.
We had all the normal things going on in our lives.
Plus all
anger with family and relatives and all that kind of stuff, and then you put the COVID on top of that. So
yeah, and it's been a challenging time, and I bet most everybody knows somebody who died from COVID.
Yeah.
And so even though I get kind of frustrated when people say, well, they had diabetes, or they were old, or they were this. Those things might be true, but they didn't need to die from COVID. Right. They didn't need to die now. Right. So it's very sad, and so people need to be kind to your mind and take care of yourself and do whatever you can to support yourself and your family members. But again, it's open to everybody.
This is really important information. This is a great interview today, because you come on and you have stuff that's coming up and it's interesting, but this is really, really topical, all this stuff. It's really hot issue stuff. It
is. And it's so important, now more than ever. So I hope that people will, take advantage of these opportunities. And people know Michigan State. They're very. These are evidence-based practices.
They won a football game too.
They sure did. That was pretty exciting.
we won't lose half of our audience by getting into that. But
yeah. But anyways, it was a great game. But these are evidence-based practices, and so it's important. We know people. They've been tested. That means we know that they work and that they help people. So we hope people will take advantage.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Deb Johnson, she's at St. Clair County Community Mental Health, the Executive Director. Lots of really important information for you today, and we hope you take advantage of it. If you don't didn't get all the information, just call St. Clair County Community Mental Health at 800.
Oh, it's actually 985-8900, 810.
985-8900.
That's the local number.
Okay.
If you need access to services, it's 888-225-4447.
Okay, we'll put that up too.
Okay.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program, an important Focus program. We thank you very much for tuning in. Till next time, Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.